So I'm gonna, okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen. When I share my screen, honestly, I kind of experimented. I've for years and years and years done all my presentations in PowerPoint. Well, I do lots of social media type stuff in Canva. So I decided to experiment and use Canva for my presentation today. So I'm gonna share my screen. I do have a bigger screen. So if it looks like I'm looking away from you guys, no, I'm looking at my screen that is bigger so that I can see the presentation. And that's the one I'll share with you guys. When I share my screen also, I'm not going to be able to see all of you. So if you have a comment or a question, my classes are never where I want to be speaking at you. I do have a lot of information I feel like I want to go over in the next hour, but I definitely don't want it to be me speaking at you. So feel free to unmute and just interrupt me. It's not going to offend me. It's not going to upset me. Just interrupt, ask your questions, because I also want to make sure you got what you came for. So before I share my screen, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to ask you guys to please feel free to unmute and let me know what made you decide to log in today. And if there's something in particular you're hoping I will go over, let me know what that is, even if it's not in my slide presentation or what I plan to share. I can always alter because, again, I want to make sure you get what you came for. So what is it that you were hoping that I would go over?
I guess for me, this is Michael, the basics. I'm new to social media, and I've always had other people at a previous role take care of social media for me. So I was never on it. And now that I'm a realtor, I'm on it, and I need to learn how to use it and utilize it to grow my business.
Awesome. So what were you doing before you became a realtor?
I spent 26 years with Nordstrom as a buyer and a store manager. So took an early
Different.
retirement, a lot different.
And
Yes,
you
a lot.
didn't have to do Nordstrom social media.
I surely didn't. So,
Awesome.
so help me, please.
Yes, I am here for you. Okay, who
What?
else? Let me hear from at least one or two more people.
So for me, I've looked at some of your videos online and I really like your fonts and like the graphics or the animations that you do. And
Okay.
I can do a post and I can do a reel, but the really cool fonts, you know, I just feel like they look very professional and that's what I'm here for.
Some of them may be. So some of my reels, I am doing the graphics and other things inside of the Instagram or Facebook.
I'll be right back to improve.
Some of them, I actually am hiring professional editors. So some of the ones, depending on which ones you're looking at, you might have to show me later when we're not in the class, and I'll tell you if it was professionally edited or done by me.
Gotcha.
Because I am definitely not a professional editor.
Gotcha. Those are really cool. I mean, the sounds and the graphics, it kind of just makes you feel like you're in a commercial, like it's actually real life.
Yeah, okay, so the music, all the music that I've put behind is all inside the app.
Okay.
Yeah. But if it was like it popped up a picture and they made a sound doing that,
Yeah.
and all the video was still going, that could have been the professional editors.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, except I do believe I know the app they use. I did buy it and it was too much of a learning curve. I didn't want to learn it. So I just said, the hell with it, I'll pay them.
Yeah. Those are really cool.
Thanks. Okay, so one other person at least, tell me why you're here.
I'll go. Social media has become the thing, and I'm trying to set up a strategy to drive buyers, sellers, to drive ads or funnels to specific areas, to specific communities, kind of looking for hyper local strategy.
Okay, so we're going to talk about strategies, but it is not an ad class. So
Understand that.
we might want to talk more about that later, because this is more in general overall strategies.
Got
And
it.
I have found, you guys, for those of you that don't really want to spend money on ads, I have found that I get tons and tons of results using social media for free. And for me, it's more about building my tribe, building my sphere, getting deeper. For those of you that don't know, I also published a book that became an international bestseller about 8 months ago or so. And I talk in that book all about, thank you, all about building your business through building relationships. And for me, social media is one of those realms, and it's actually a really huge piece of how I deepen relationships. So ads are, good, and they are a piece of the strategy. For me, I do a lot more without ads. Now, if you're going to do business pages, though, you want to do ads so that your business page gets seen. It is really hard to get a business page seen without ads. So if you're going to focus on business pages versus personal profiles, you definitely do want to do some ads. However, I would not rely entirely on ads, because you're going to get a lot more business with a lot more referrals if you're doing social media right, in my opinion. I think ads is a small piece of the pie. And it's kind of like, just dealing with online leads, right? It's harder to convert the strangers than it is to convert your referrals, right? So just make it a piece and don't focus all on ads, because the age-old thing of people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust is still relevant. So even if they find you in an ad, they're going to look for you outside of your business page, and they're going to look for your personal profile, and they're going to look at what are you posting, and are you sharing who you are. So actually, that's the first thing I'm going to throw out there as strategy is number one, that I believe is when people, and I'm also going to throw out there, everything I say today really is my opinion and from my experience. And at one point I did track my social media, my business from social media. It was at least 85%. I will tell you guys all, I've been helping my boyfriend get his business launched. He started a new business about 6 months ago or so, where he's a handyman, Donnie's Home Solutions. I would say 99% of his business has come from what I have done for him on social media. Like, he's gotten a few that have been referrals from clients, and like maybe 1 or 2 jobs that were people that he already knew or whatever. However, everything else has come from my social media activity for him. So it's huge. But again, everything is my experience and my opinion. You could talk to 20 social media experts, and we might say 60% of the same thing, but there's always going to be those opinions that are very different, right? So take what you like, leave what you don't. And if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, like, maybe there's another strategy better. Because my way is not the only way. It's just my way. So if you read my book, or if you know anything about me, I always talk about, there's people that want to compartmentalize, and they want to go, here's my business box, here's my personal box. And I never want those boxes to come together. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, my strategy and my opinion, my philosophy is very different from that. I like to take those boxes and smash them together, because again, it's that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So when I can make my friends my clients, and when I can make my clients my friends, my business is going to grow bigger, and I'm going to be happier, and I'm going to have more fun because I'm working with people I like. And so I also think social media is a way to weed out the people that I'm not going to like, or they're not going to like me. If people look at my social media, and I know sometimes, like, I'm a very high energy person, and I'm kind of a loud person. And so I know, like, I'm not for everyone, right? Like, some people get in a room with me and they're like, whoa, she's a bit much. Well, if they're gonna look at my social media and go, whoa, she's a bit much, yay, go find somebody else, because if you don't like me, chances are I probably won't like you either. And halfway through a transaction, we're gonna want to fire each other. So I see social media when I am authentic and I let who I am shine, and I put out videos and I put out my personality. I'm gonna draw to me those that are meant to come to me, and I'm going to draw away the ones that will drive each other nuts, and they could go find someone that's better aligned for them. And I truly believe there is enough business out there for everyone, always. So if I'm not the best person for them, well, maybe somebody on my team is, right? And I could refer them to somebody else on my team. However, like, again, like, let's find the people that align with us, that we can align with, that aren't going to drive each other crazy. So in my opinion, your authenticity and attempting to separate, this is me in business and this is me in life, you're not going to be authentic, and people are going to know that, and they're going to feel that. And I truly believe, even though you're not in person yet, on social media, people do get a sense of who you are. And if you're blocking your authentic self and you're being a person who you think people want you to be, you're like, I am going to be this business professional that people want me to be, right? They're going to know it, they're going to sense it, and it's not going to support you. So I truly believe, even if you're not doing a whole lot on a personal page and you're focusing on a professional page and you're doing a lot of ads, still video is crucial. Showing your personality is crucial. Now, people say, well, I don't want to put my personal life out there, right? Well, remember, you create your the perception people have of you, basically based on what you post. So people are going to look at your profile, they're going to decide something about you. That is what humans do. We judge. I mean, we want to say that, oh, I'm not judgmental and, I'm above that and whatever, but humans, human nature, we judge, and people are going to judge you, right? So put out who you are, right? No matter what, even if it's a personal or a professional page, you don't have to put out like, oh, I was at a party last night getting drunk or whatever, but you can still show your personality, right? So you decide what goes out there. You decide how personal or how intimate you want to get. I put a lot of content. And if you're not following me or friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to say, send me a request. I'll accept you. But look at what I put out there, and I'll show my page in a little bit. It's a lot of a mix. However, my personal stuff, because again, like, psychologists, psychiatrists say that social media can actually be really detrimental for people when they're scrolling feeds, because they're looking at other people and they're like, oh, I don't really measure up. But really, what are we looking at? How many people want to put the woe is me bad stuff on social media? We don't. We want to put our best selves forward. We want to shine our light. So we're going to put the good stuff. However, you get to pick and choose what it is. And you can make some things that are even professional look more personal, so that it's still showing your personality, but it's not showing things you don't want people to see, right? So like when I go out on realtor tours, because it's out what I am doing, it might be business related, but it also becomes personal because I'm out with other realtors, I'm out looking at properties. So you can take your professional posts and make them feel more personal, so that people are still feeling like they're getting to know you. So think about that as you're posting. Not all professional posts needs to be, look at me, I'm a realtor, use me as your realtor. You can like check into places, do a story where it's just a picture of your office door, like front office, the front office desk, whoever's the front office manager, take a picture with that person. There's so much content you can throw out there that tells people you're a realtor without you saying I'm a realtor, right? So just think about how you put it out there, because what you put out will create people's perception, but you can control that by, and then here's the danger. Do not overthink it. Too many people overthink and they don't post, and then they get into analysis paralysis. You can't mess it up. You really can't. And if you decide that something was a bad post and you get some bad feedback, go delete it. Like, no big deal. You can always delete, you can always edit, you can always change. So don't be afraid. Doing things is better than not doing things. And so done is better than perfect because it will never be perfect, right? And when people are looking at your videos and your social media, if somebody's scrolling through, oh my gosh, look at this video. Look at all these videos. Oh my gosh, Michael is so perfect. I have to work with him because he's the perfect realtor. Said no one ever. People want to work with and find people they can relate to, and nobody's perfect. So if you show some of your imperfections, if you mess up on a video and you keep going or you laugh at yourself, like, let it roll. And people like that, right? Because they like the imperfections. And that also shows a little of who you are. So just feel free to be you is strategy tip number 1. Do not try to separate everything too much. Anyone have any questions or comments you want to say on that? Because I know that can stir up some emotion sometimes.
Well, not emotion, but it goes against the grain of everything I did in a previous world, in a previous life.
Yes, because you were
Because it wasn't a corporate structure, and everything had to be perfect and everything had to be just right. And you're absolutely right. I can't get out of my own way right now, because when I do get the paralysis and say, okay, I don't like it because it's not perfect, and I'm trying to let go of that. And everyone that I talk to tells me exactly the same thing that you're saying: is get over yourself and just do it.
Yeah. And you are who you are, right? And people are going to hire you because they want to work with you. Like, I don't know, what broker you're hanging your license with right now, but really it doesn't matter. Like, you could be at Keller Williams, you could be at EXP, you could be at Remax, you could be at a mom pop that nobody knows the name of. People are not going to choose to work with you because of the real estate brokerage your license is with. They're going to choose to work with you because they like you. I mean, that is the reality. It's different than Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's is a huge brand, right? And people are maybe going for the brand. You will eventually create your brand, but right now your brand is you and you're selling your service. So really what you're doing is you're selling yourself and you're selling your personality, right? Because there's 80,000 realtors in Maricopa County. You're one of 80,000. What makes you different is who you are. Okay, cool. I am going to go share my screen now. Okay, and I'm gotta get this in presentation mode. Sorry, didn't have that set up right. However, I'm gonna come out of presentation mode a few times to show you some examples. So, obviously, the social media platforms, the most obvious ones are here. Here's all your icons. However, the reality is there's like seriously thousands of social media platforms. These are just the main ones. The ones I feel like I get the most business from: Facebook, Instagram. I do LinkedIn for recruiting, not for general mortgage business. And so LinkedIn is more business to business. And then obviously TikTok is growing and getting bigger. Personally, I still feel like the audience might be a little bit too young. However, I just had somebody hire me who wants me to focus on TikTok, and this new X thing was Twitter. I feel like Twitter's a lot of sports. However, I had someone hire me who wants me to be on both of those platforms for them. So I'm going to experiment and see if I'm wrong, because we'll see what happens. This, if you're not sure or haven't seen this logo yet, it's a newer social media platform owned by Meta, which is called Threads. It's meant to combat and be like the next newest Twitter. And so if you haven't heard of Meta, Facebook and Instagram and Threads are all owned by Meta. So they're all owned by the same company. And here's your YouTube platform, which I still consider social media, but a lot of people don't think of it as social media. However, you're allowed to comment and interact on videos. YouTube is the biggest searched platform outside of Google. So, however, it is harder to be found because you're up against a lot of bigger names and bigger platforms. But on any of these, and I have a slide later on that I'm going to show you, it's all about the consistency, and consistency is key. So a lot of people come to me and they say, what platform should I focus on? In my opinion, right? Like I do a lot on Facebook, Instagram, and less on LinkedIn. That's my third. My opinion, though, is do not attempt to jump in and do everything. You do not want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. Focus on one for now. Get really, really good at it. Build it up, build your audience, build your platform, know all the ins and outs of the features of making sure you're using that platform to its fullest, and then move on. Unless you're hiring a social media management company to help you and be in partnership with you. If you attempt to do it, you're a jack of all trades, master of none, and you're going to half-ass everything, and you're never really going to get a lot of business out of it. If you take one and you blow it up, you will get business out of it. And the social media that you work, you will work, right? There is no magic answer of which social media platform you should be on. However, think about your audience. If your audience and the clients you're attempting to attract are 40 to 50 plus, definitely Facebook is going to be your place. If you're looking at 40 under, even 45 under, Instagram may be a little more popular there. Definitely if you're looking at first-time home buyers in their 20s or so, Instagram and TikTok is where you're going to be. If you only want to work with other business professionals, LinkedIn might be where you want to be. And again, Twitter, Threads is so new that I'm not quite sure yet where that's going to go. And you can connect it to your Instagram and your Facebook and have all the same posts go on all of them. And I use YouTube a lot for teaching, like this that I'm recording. It's going to go on YouTube. It's not going to be public, but it's going to go on YouTube. So you may want to use YouTube even if you're not looking for public new clients. You can
Hello.
Someone have a
Good.
question?
What's up?
Okay, he's not talking to us. I'm muting him. I can't even hear the other guy go, hey, man. YouTube is really good for making a video to a client and sending it, or making a series of videos of what happens throughout the transaction. This is what we just happened. Congratulations. You just had a great inspection. The next phase is we're going to do X, right? So you could create a series of videos that don't have to be public on YouTube. If you do want to do things public on YouTube and look for your next clients, I would highly recommend making your videos educational. Teaching on YouTube is huge. When people search on YouTube, they often search with the words how to first. So if you're going to use YouTube, your strategy there is make a lot of how to, even if the video is not how to, title it how to, or put how to in your description. Okay, why are we using social media? I think we kind of know that. Like Scotty said, social media is the thing now, right? Like not a lot of people are advertising in other places. But the key, if you look at what I wrote here, through quality content. The content has to be quality, especially if you're looking to attract new people not already in your sphere. Educational content is huge. Teach people something. Entrepreneurs can build strong keyword relationships, right? You actually can build relationship on social media. I meet people once, I connect with them on social media. 6 months later, they think I'm their newest best friend. And sometimes I go places and people know all about my life because I'm pretty open on my social media. And I'm trying to remember who they are because I met them once 6 months ago. And I'm like, I don't really know. You could increase your brand awareness. You could generate significant conversations, build your tribe, deepen your relationships. Look at the word there twice. That's how strongly I believe in relationships. Find new people, connect, communicate, keyword here, engage. Engaging is huge. React on people's posts, get in the mix, right? So if it's not next, which I think it is, okay, objectives are next. We're going to get to profile. And I'm going to show you what to do with your profile so you're not that person that I met 6 months ago and I don't remember. But the objectives in using social media marketing, oh, I just found an error. It says threefold and I made it fourfold. I got to fix that. See, you don't have to be perfect. Done is better than perfect, Michael. I'm sure 3 hours from now, if I didn't point out I made this mistake, you'd probably forget I made a mistake. And you wouldn't decide to not want to work with me because I wrote threefold and I put 4 bullet points.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Number 1, increase brand awareness. Number 2, build the trust. Number 3, generate significant conversations. And number 4, start online to take it offline. So Scotty, if you're still listening, I want to point out, generate significant conversations. Where I think most people fail in paying for Facebook ads is they don't generate the conversation. They throw out the ad, they want the lead, and they just they wind up blowing it off or trying to get offline too fast. So if somebody finds you on social media, that is their platform. That is what they like. People, what I think too many errors that realtors make is you're forcing people to give their phone number, right, to create your funnel, or give their email to create your funnel, and immediately you're going to email or phone. Well, if they wanted you to call them, they'd call you. They didn't call you. They found you on social media. They clicked on your ad. So what I think needs to be done, where I think most people goof up, is you now connect with them and start sending them private messages. And you could say, I'm the person behind that ad. I saw you like the ad, or you clicked on it, or you gave me your contact info, whatever. I am here to answer your questions. What made you decide to click on the ad? Was there something in particular? Did you like the picture? Was it the headline? Are you looking at properties? Do you want, to create whatever? Start the conversation, build their trust. Then when you call them or you email them, they will actually, or text them, they will actually respond. Too many people put money into ads and immediately go to texting and calling, and the trust isn't built yet. Now you can text. I would say if you find them on social media, text before you call, but I still think build the trust, build the rapport, staying on social media. Take a little bit of time to get into conversation, and then say, hey, I'd like to call you this afternoon. Are you going to be available? And set it up so that they know you're calling and they're not all freaked out. Like, oh my God, all I did was click on this ad and now you're calling me. Right? Build the trust, and you're going to get way higher results than the average person doing ads on social. Okay, profiles. And this is where I'm going to click out of the presentation. I'm going to show you some examples. Really important, really, really, really key. Make sure your profiles are complete. Now, Scotty, I don't know what your business page is titled, but if it's not titled with your name and it's titled something else, like some sort of branding title, what is it called?
Scotty the Realtor.
Okay, perfect. So as soon as they find out your last name is Eisenhart, they're going to go off your page and they're going to go either into Google or into just a search, and they're going to search your full name and they're going to look for your profile, right? So you've got to have that profile complete on all your social media. But here's the other thing. Every potential place that you can have a free online profile, fill it out, make it complete. A lot of realtors, especially newer realtors, Michael, don't realize that you can, and I didn't put a bubble. I'm going to add this actually next time, is not only realtor.com, but Zillow both allow you to have a free profile. Go, if you don't have a profile on those platforms, go create it. And if you guys have never Googled yourself, Google yourself. I actually did it this morning knowing I was going to be doing this class. And I was like, I haven't done it in a while. I'm going to Google myself. Well, I found out that my book is being sold on all sorts of platforms. And I thought it was just on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and it's being sold in Australia, I think it was Australia, for like, it's $10 on Amazon, and they're selling it for over $15 in Australia. And I'm like, where are they getting it from? And am I getting a piece of that pie? So Google yourself, because you never know what you're going to find. But when you Google yourself, you're going to find out what those other people are going to find. So again, especially if you're doing ads and random people are finding your ads, make sure when they go to Google you, they're finding what you want them to find. So control your profiles. If your company gives you a website, make sure it's complete. Put up and here's the key, the picture. So many people don't have their profile pictures. Well, that's how I forget who people are. Their Facebook profile has a picture of their dog or their kids, or now that this time of year, their Christmas tree. Make your profile picture your face and periodically change it. I changed mine this morning also in anticipation of this class. And then somebody sent me a text and told me that the picture I chose didn't actually have my face, but like had my waist. And I was like, oh my God, I hope it's fixed, because I tried to fix it real fast before this class. But when you change your profile picture, all your people get a notification that you changed it and they see it. That's how that person saw that, right? So sometimes if you don't even know what to post, just change your profile picture and there's a post that gets you in front of people. Keep your profile picture up to date. Don't do the 10-year-old picture. Alignable is another one that a lot of people don't know about. It's kind of can be like a business card online, or you could get really social on it, but it's free. Get a profile up on there. And on all of these, YouTube, any social media site, your company website, whatever it is, have your contact info public. I can't even tell you guys how many times even I'm doing a realtor class like this, and I want to go to call somebody to follow up or remind them of the class or whatever. And I start searching their social media for their phone number, and I can't find it because their phone number is not public. Well, if your contact info is not public, you're a secret agent, and you're not here to be a secret agent. If you want to be a secret agent, go join the CIA or FBI or whatever. Make sure it's all showing public. So I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to go into my Facebook profile. When I say make sure your profile is complete, that includes this bio right here. A lot of people have that blank. And it includes when I click your about section. Now you're going to see my behind the scenes because we're in mine. You don't see this when you're a public person looking, but these things here tell you what's public, or you could see this is only to my friends, right? All the rest of these, because it's a globe, is public. When I click on contact and basic information, you want it all filled out. Contact info, here's my phone number. It is public. Here's my NEXA Mortgage email. It is public. But look, I have a personal email. It is only to my friends. So you control who sees what. Make sure your work information, your work email, your work phone number are public. Many people don't have that. You don't want to be hard to find or connect to. Any websites and social links, fill them in here. There's no limit that I know of. I mean, I haven't hit the limit, and I've got a lot on here. I've been interviewed on podcasts. I've got links to the podcasts on here. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. They don't all have to be actual websites. It says website, but it has a URL. Throw it up there. If you've been interviewed anywhere, you have an article in a magazine, you've been on a podcast, get them all up there. What is this? This is a link to my book. I've written Forbes articles. It's up here. There's actually one more that came up when I Googled that I'm not seeing it. The Voyager magazine did an article on me. I'm going to actually add that later today. And it was over a year ago. And so I've lost out on potential publicity from not having it in here, right? So make sure everywhere that you can be found online, put the links in your website links. And so this is just Facebook, right? Your birth year, I have it locked. You might want to, it's up to you, but again, people are going to judge. If you don't want people judging on your age, don't make it public, right? And so this is Facebook, where, the more it's filled in, the more you're going to have here. You got your little bio here. This bio is really short. So you gotta like pay attention to what you're gonna put, just like Twitter, you know, you only get so many characters. Instagram, you want to put emojis in your bio here, and you're only allowed one link. So use Linktree, it's free. Link linktr.ee, Linktree, and that is going to have all your links. So again, make sure it's complete. I've got my book, my mortgage application, Facebook profile, YouTube, Forbes articles, Business Advantage Solutions. It's my coaching business. I've got my Amazon, my LinkedIn. This is all free. I'm not paying for it. So fill it out, use it in Instagram or anywhere else that you want everything in one place. LinkedIn, the common mistake, when I click on people's contact info, this is often blank. Make sure your contact info is there. You don't have to click it to be public. It's going to be public if you fill it out. It's in your settings. And all you do is edit and make sure it's all there. So fill it out, put again, connect to as many connections as you can. So I've got, you know, the other websites and things here, my book here, my Forbes articles here. Doesn't have to be just a regular website, right? So whatever profile you're on, YouTube, same thing. I didn't pull mine up, but you know, whoops. Just make sure that you've got all your stuff there. And you're taking, oh, this is Kurt's, not mine. So I'm not going to take the time. I don't want to waste time flipping to show you. You get the idea. All right. All right, whoops, going back to full screen. Okay, one thing that is very helpful is to create a content calendar. And for all the realtors on here, I got this from Katie Lance. You can see at the bottom, it says Katie Lance Consulting, katielance.com. Katie Lance is a huge social media trainer. She trains realtors all over the country. She speaks for NAR and other, you know, big real estate organizations. She has this out as a freebie, but you know, you could make this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? You could make your own, you can make themes of the day. Like you could do market stats Monday, you could do tip Tuesday, you could do where are we Wednesday, and do a video or pictures out and about, right? Throwback Thursday or whatever, funny Friday. Title every day of the week with a type of content. Now, of course, Scotty, you're not doing ads every day of the week. So you're not going to do that for the ads. You're going to do that for your regular posts, right? And that helps keep you organized. It just go to katielance.com, put in your email and your name, and you can get the content grid. Or if anybody wants this presentation, I could send it to you when we're done. Just ask me. All I ask is you don't share it with people who weren't on here without letting me know. And then once you're all set up and you're posting regularly, pay attention to your analytics. Stories, you want people either clicking back on your story and staying on your story longer, not clicking forward. And your algorithm knows if people click off your story. Story stays up for a total of 24 hours, but it's like 5 seconds till it goes to the next story. You can make your stories go faster with little tricks. If you put a video as your story, it's only as long as your video. So you can add like a GIF or other things to make it a video to shorten it up. Your reels, notice how many of your current followers are watching your reels, how many non-followers are you getting? And again, are they clicking off? How many seconds are they watching? Your stories, I mean, your reels, ideally, they allow you up to 90 seconds. If you want to repurpose, especially to go to YouTube Shorts is only allowed 60 seconds. But the newest stat that I've heard is people only really are paying attention now for 40 seconds. So even though you could go up to 60 seconds, you want your reel to stay 40 seconds or less. And every once in a while, just a little hack, you want to make your reels or your videos like 10, 15, 20 seconds, no longer, even 5 seconds. Because one of the things that the algorithm looks at is how much of a percentage of your reel do people watch. If your reel is only 5 seconds, you're 10 seconds, most people are going to watch the whole reel. So that's going to really bump up your analytics. So it's a little bit of a hack there. So do some reels that are educational that you're going to take up the full 60 seconds, but do some reels where, you could throw a few pictures together, maybe of a listing or a little short video of a couple of the rooms of the listing, and make it only take 10 or 20 seconds with some music. Use trending music. Trending music's going to get it found. And even if you don't want the music out loud, you can lower the music, you can talk over it, and it's still going to get it found. Michael, what's your question?
Why is it important to bump up your analytics? What's the benefit?
Because then the algorithm of whatever platform you're on will make sure more people see you.
Got it. Okay. Thanks.
They will actually choose to put you in front of people that you don't know when your analytics are good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. When you're using static posts, if you're in Instagram, use carousels. So you put up multiple pictures, and play around. Like, I figured out that my reels, I actually get more views of reels on Facebook than I do on Instagram, probably just because I have a stronger following base. However, my reels aren't getting as much interaction on Facebook as if I post it as a regular video, as a video. So that's kind of interesting. So watch your analytics and know what's getting seen. And then know how much the time. I already talked about the time being viewed. So know how much time, like if you're doing a lot of 60-second videos and people are dropping off after 20 seconds, you might be rambling and you got to shorten what you're saying. And I know, like, the people that know me, they laugh when I say that because obviously I'm a talker and it's really hard for me to do shorter than 60 seconds. And business pages, I want you to look at the active times a day. And Scotty, this is going to help you with your ads when you're doing your ads. So I'm going to escape out of this actually, and I'm going to take you into the Meta Business Suite. So when you're creating a post or creating an ad, when I go to do it, I'm not going to do ad because I got to go through more steps to find the active times and stuff. But on a post, you can see, like, I'm going to post up here. If you're using Instagram and Facebook from a business page, you can link them. You can have the same post go to both from doing it here in the business suite. I'm going to type my text. I'm going to put in my photo, but down here where it says scheduling options, I'm going to click set a date and time. Even if I wanted to go now, I'm going to do this just to look at it. And I'm going to look at it. It says, like, I could do this right now at, 12:11. I could schedule it. It's 20 minutes past now is the soonest you can schedule it. And I want to say up to 48 days out, but don't quote me on that. However, if I click this little gray box that says active times, a lot of people don't notice boxes in gray. Click it. Now it tells me the active times a day. So today, the people on this business page, and this is a page that I run for somebody else, they're most active at 6 p.m. Tomorrow is 6 p.m. Friday is 6 p.m., which is interesting. But if I look at her calendar where I've planned things, like today, one of them was like 2 p.m. So here's one, 3:32 p.m. That went out then. These are at 7 p.m. This is 2 p.m. It's not today, it's for tomorrow's post. So I scheduled out through the week, right? But I scheduled on what Facebook is telling me are the most active times. So when my people are more active, that's when obviously I want them to see the post. Do that for your posts and your ads. If you don't see an ad where it tells you active times, come in the post, look at when it's active, and then just schedule your ad to launch at that time. Now, ads you're probably going to put out for a few days, but get it launching at the time when your people are active. All right. Well, we skipped one. No, we didn't. Okay. Engage. I'm not going to make it full screen. You guys could deal with it. I don't want, we're running out of time. The most important thing is about engagement. You cannot on social media set it and forget it, because what's the first word in social media? Yeah, I saw Scotty mouth that you're on mute. It's social. It's about being social. You gotta get on. If you want people to comment and engage on your posts, you got to engage on theirs. So people that hire me, depending on what level of, like, I have different options that they can choose, but I will engage on either 5 or 10 friends posts a day, because that's a magic number, 10 people. Each day you should be taking time and scrolling down your newsfeed and finding 10 people to comment on. And definitely it's so easy to react. So if you're not sure, Michael, since you're new on social media, reacting is like when I come here to my homepage and they scroll down. So Mary's saying happy birthday, right? So this is a super easy one. I'm going to love it. And it's somebody else's birthday. So I'm just going to go happy B-Day or happy B-Day to him or happy B-Day. I'll look and see who it is. Okay, so to her son. So happy B-Day to him. It's that simple. Do that 10 times a day. Your algorithms are going to go high and huge. When you comment on people, if she comes back and she likes my comment, that tells Facebook that I'm important to her. Now my posts are going to show up higher on Mary's Facebook feed, right? Because we're engaging with each other. It's a mutual engagement.
Okay, so the same thing applies to Instagram too, correct?
Yes, yes. And LinkedIn and any of them. Just engage with them. And you can reignite old posts with engagement. And actually, I probably wouldn't have put this on here if it didn't happen yesterday. I had a post literally from 12 years ago that I reshared 5 years later, so 7 years ago, that I tagged like 25 people in it. So one of those 25 people happens to look at her memories in Facebook a lot. She commented on the post yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was. So this is 12 years later, the original post was made. 7 years ago, it was made with the tags. And today I had 4 comments on it this morning because somebody commented on something from 7 years ago. So if you have old posts that you want to reignite and it never hurts to repurpose, comment and it'll bring it back up again. Some ways to get referrals: find realtors in other states, friend request them, join groups to find people, find realtors, find local people. Oh, setting notifications. Now I've noticed a lot of people miss what goes on in their groups. So come over here, do a group search. I'm going to pick the top group that I have up here and notice it's pinned. But when you come into the group and you click the 3 dots, there's manage notifications. Sometimes people say, well, I never see. And actually, you know what I'm going to show you? I'm going to show you my group, because if you guys aren't in this group and you want to be in this group, I provide social media content to the realtors that are willing to work with the loan originators on my team at NEXA. So if you're open to working with us, you can get in this group. Just let me know. I create the content, most of it, not all of it's created by me, but most of it is, and I create it on Canva. And sometimes people say, well, yeah, I'm in your group, but I don't see the content. Well, click on the 3 dots when you're in the group, click on manage notifications, and you have an option to click all posts, highlights, only friends posts. Most people do highlights, and some groups like this one, it's really just me posting content on a regular basis that people can use and reshare. And it doesn't get a lot of comments. It's not meant to. It's meant for people to come in, take the picture, reshare it, take the video, download it, reshare it, right? I put people's logos on things for them. So if you're not in this group, friend request me on Facebook, ask me to add you to the group. I will. It's a secret group. You're not going to find it on your own. Actually, I think I might have made it where you can find it by putting in the title. But anyways, you on groups like this, if you don't want to miss the post, click manage notifications. If you're connecting with realtors in other states, manage the notifications. See when those realtors post in those groups so that you can engage. because the more you engage, the more they're going to get to know you. And a lot of people move to Arizona from other states. It's going to get you referrals if you get to know these realtors in other states. And then I would private message them and ask them, like, hey, do you have any other realtors that you know in Arizona? And if you know someone moving here, would you be open to referring me? But start conversation, build trust first before you do that. Build trust, build conversation. You don't want to go right into like salesy mode. It's kind of weird. But if you don't know anybody in that state, you don't have a realtor in that state, you could say, like, hey, you'll be my go-to in Chicago if I can be your go-to in Arizona. And then if you have a go-to in Chicago, then you might want to connect, right, with Maria, and she could do the loan. And then you have a full-on team here. All right. Consistency is key. The social media you work is what's going to work. I don't care what it is. If you work it and you're consistent, you'll get business. One of my loan originators who doesn't use social media a whole lot came to one of my classes recently and she said, okay, I'm going to start using it. She changed her background on her cover photo and put up the logos. She also owns a credit repair company. She never had her NEXA logo on her cover photo. She added the credit repair logo, her NEXA logo, and she's working on an app. All those went up. She recruited a loan originator to our team yesterday just solely from that. Like, social media works. All you gotta do is like post and things are gonna happen. So consistency is absolutely key. We are about at 12 o'clock. We said it'll be 11 to 12. I have 11:58. I'm going to say thank you for logging on. However, if you want to ask a few questions, I could stay on a few more minutes later. If you want to talk to me about managing your social media, I'm going to tell you the one big thing that makes me different than any other social media management company is I work in partnership with people. And my key is working together to make sure your social media truly represents you and is authentic. I do not make static generic posts and post them up for everybody. And the only time you'll get a generic post is if you're not communicating well with me and I run out of content that is authentic and generic and organic to you. But we'll work things together. My highest level of social media content, like yesterday, I was in Scottsdale with one of my realtors making videos. I will show up with you. I will shadow you. I'll take pictures. I'll take video. And I'll save the content for like 3 months and drip it out. That does need a 3-month commitment. However, I make it organic and authentic to you versus everybody getting the same thing. And then I'm going to say, you know, if you don't have a preferred loan originator, or you're not happy with your loan originator, or your loan originator tells you they can't do something, I'm going to ask that you connect with Maria, get to know her, give her a chance. Maria's excellent at what she does. She's really well versed in non-QM loans. So if you're working with a lender at a direct lender, like a retail shop, like a People's Mortgage, AmeriFirst, Nova, they don't have the non-QM products that we have, and Maria can, you know, help close it where they can't. So, you know, if you got value out of this today, the way you could show me, Lindell, Maria, you're getting value is, you know, work with us. If you're already working with us, keep working with us. If you're not working with us, please give us a shot. And if you guys just have quick social media questions, feel free. Fastest ways to get a hold of me is to send me a private message on Facebook, to be honest, or text me. Either way, I look at private messages like text messages and they're answered immediately. And I'm sure Lindell can totally tell you that's true because I've noticed